We finally have a way to search it. What is up, guys? It's your boy Brennan, aka Drip, aka GG, Galaxy God, back with another video. In today's video, boy, did my Discord fam wake me up with some good news today. I woke up this morning and saw that y'all posted the new support for Galaxy Eyes, so I thought I had to make a video on it. Shout out to you all for the Discord fam for posting in the Galaxy corner and letting me see when I wake up. We got a lot to talk about, so this is going to be a serious discussion video. Granted, there's going to be some stuff that I found out later after making this video that you can do and stuff like combos and stuff like that. This is just first glance of going over it with you guys. I already have read the cards for the most part, but I'm going to reread them to you all just in case you all haven't read them yet. And then we're going to go over some things that if they're good or they're bad, because we do have some bad things in here that I think a lot of people are not noticing. With a couple of cards that whether they're going to be played or not, because we're all just also excited when we hear that we get support that anything is virtually playable at that point, because we just are tired of the same old thing and we just are craving and starved for new support. But we'll go over that as we go along. Before we get in this video, if you don't mind, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Consider hitting the bell notification so you never miss an upload. And check the description for all the ways to support me. If you want to become a member of the Discord fam, go check it out. That's down there below. My TCG affiliate link is down there as well, along with the other ways to support me, Patreon, and the merch store and everything else. I love you so much for it. Also, if you're wondering why my voice sounds a little different, I'm still kind of sick. I've been sick for like a week now, but I'm slowly getting better. I finally got my voice back. I completely lost my voice entirely and just got it back. That's why we didn't have Locals Live series continuing last week. But that will be back up this week as well, the time of recording this video. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the first card that we're going to talk about in this video. All right, the first card we're going to talk about in this video is Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy, is at least the name that it has for now. I'm probably going to put a picture either over here or over here. So be on the lookout for that, so you all can see it and read along and stuff like that. Shout outs to my boy America in the Discord for these pictures. Love you, buddy. But we're going to go over it, and it's a normal trap. If you see me looking down, it's because I have to read my phone to read to see what the effect is. I apologize for that. It is a normal trap. It says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. If you control a Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, you can activate this card from hand. It's a Tachyon card. It should always be like that. The first effect is, well, the only effect. During the battle phase, detach one material from your Galaxy Eyes XZ monster, or if you control a number C monster, this card's activation cannot be negated. Shuffle all monsters your opponent controls, normal or special summon this turn into the deck. Bruh. This card is really freaking disgusting. Definitely against those decks that like almost put up big beaters too. If you're trying to clear the way, just be like, just part the freaking Red Sea and just kill them with Prime. If that's what you're trying to do, then this is one way to do it. But I think this card is going to have more like impact for potential plays outside of just OTKing to out stuff. I think this card is going to be very good against like a rogue deck like Makonko or something like that, just to completely scrap it. Also, a lot of decks that don't have resources from like the graveyard or something like that, just to completely outright, if you can't kill them, even if you can't kill them and they stopped you from getting to like Prime or something like that, the ability to still just clear their board means you just out-resource them entirely, and it forces them to be top decking or have the resources to remake their board in hand. I think this card is very, very good because later on down the road, we'll Oh, by the way, I'm sitting here playing with the OG GPD, baby. If you see me tinkering with cards, that's what I'm doing. That and Tachyon. But I think later on when we talk about the other cards, this card is searchable. So it's going to be very nice. Definitely considering you can activate it out of hand and not commit to the board until like an evenly or something like that. If you set this going first or something like that. You don't have to play into it potentially being popped. You just activate it out of hand, etc. But I think this card is very, very solid. It's a normal trap too. So if it comes around to the time to where we're playing Thrust again, we could set this directly from deck or add it to hand. It's very, very nice because it's a normal trap. Granted, Thrust isn't the greatest right now, but that card will come back into play for us later on down the road. Now, moving on to the next card. The next card we are going to talk about is, I believe, a monster card. Let me find it. It's a spell card. This one I don't really like. I'm just going to tell you that right now. In the hybrid deck of like Galaxy Eyes, Photon, and all that, which now is going to be a little bit of Tachyon too. Kind of feels like Heroes in that regard, where it's just a mashup of the name Hero in it. Like it has Vision Hero, D Hero, Element Hero, all that stuff. But this one is called Tachyon Spiral of Destruction. It's a quick play spell, which is very, very nice. And it reads as follows. Activate one of these effects, but you can only use the effects of this name once per turn. Its first effect. One of the effects. It says, if you control a Galaxy XZ monster, destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls whose effects are negated. Now, before I go anywhere further, I want to talk about this effect right here. This is basically wanting you to play and tie in, which obviously, for obvious reasons, it's wanting to pair this card with Tachyon 107. Because you enter the battle phase, you negate everything, and then you can activate this, clear the board, and OTK if you need to. But at the same time, there's a lot of decks right now that have cards that have graveyard effects, cards that get additional effects when they're triggered, when they're destroyed, and stuff like that. And you don't really want to be doing that because if you negate them on the field, they're not going to be negated when they go to the graveyard. So it's not going to follow to the grave, just so you know that. So it's why, technically, in theory, it would be better to use the trap card to just shuffle them back. They get no effect, and then you can OTK. That's why I don't really like this card, but I do like the fact that it is a quick play. Now, its other effect is target one Tachyon card in the graveyard, except Tachyon Spiral of Destruction, and add it to hand. Now, I do kind of like this effect if the time were to come that we would run a bigger Tachyon package. But right now in testing and theorying, I'm not running a big Tachyon package, just very minimal just to get things searched and stuff like that and get the extra utility. But the ability to add back spells and traps is really nice because I've been preaching for a long time now that I like Soul Flare, but I wish they would give us more of a add back from graveyard that can add spells and traps back too without forcing us to use Cleric to shuffle them back and then search them again or potentially draw into them. I like the ability that this one this utility provides just for the Tachyon cards. I just wish it would be a little more generic and it would allow us to add back Galaxy or Photon cards too. But I do like that fact. I like this effect about it. Now, its third effect that you could choose to do is target one number monster in your graveyard, special summon it, which is very, very nice because it's kind of like a Galaxy Zero in that sort of sense. So in theory, this card gives you 3 different effects that you can kind of abuse and archetype abuse. So I get why it's kind of nice. If we fall out of a graveyard triggers when they get destroyed and stuff format, this card would actually probably be very, very good because in theory, in some ways, it's kind of quicker than the trap card. But there's a way, obviously, if you're going to search this or the trap card, you're probably going to have 107 or another sea monster or something on the board or whatever to be able to activate it out of hand. So, but that's that. This card has potential, I think, but I think it's one of the weaker ones. There's only one, I think, on here that's more weak than this one, which will probably, I think, is the next one we're going to go over. But this card has potential, but I don't like it as much as the first one, at least for the format that I am describing this in and potentially where the format is going from here on out. Like next format at the time of recording this video, obviously, by the time we get access to these cards, this format will potentially be over and stuff. But Ritual Beasts and stuff like that having utility in graveyard, that's just giving them more resources, just so like the trap card being able to shuffle the stuff back entirely is just your best friend. Now, the next card we're going to talk about is honestly, my personal opinion, the worst one out of the entire ones announced. A lot of people are actually raving about this card and really enjoying this card, but I think it's because they're being tunnel vision and seeing like the good part, which is the extension part, but they forget the fact that our entire deck is extension. So it's not that good. But this card has a lot of drawbacks, and the card that I'm referencing, I'm not trying to lead you on, is Infinity Dragon. I'm not even going to Schwarzschild. Sorry if I butchered that name. Schwarzschild Infinity Dragon. No way that's going to be the TCG name. Its effect reads, it's a level 8 dark dragon effect monster. 2,000 attack, 0 defense. One of my homies in the Discord was like, hey, y'all got y'all's Fenrir now. No, nah, bro, we don't. And I'll tell you why here in a second. Its effect says you can only use this effect of this card name once per turn. You cannot special summon from the extra deck the turn you activate this card except to XE Dragon XE monsters. Pause, hold up, wait a minute, gotta put some drip in it. No, that's not good. And now if it said for the rest of the turn, that's fine. But the full-on lingering effect, that you can't go Soul Flare, you can't go SP, you can't go number 90, you can't go anything generic. Nah, fam. That's strike 1. No, strike 1. Strike 2, first, actually, that's strike 2. Strike 1 is the fact that this is a dark. This is a dark monster. So dark monster, strike 1. Strike 2, it locks you for the entire turn. So if you summon something that's other than a Dragon XZ monster, like you make 90 to protect yourself from Nib, or you make Soul Flare, you can't summon this card from hand. You can't. GG. Dead card. It's even deader now because it's a dark monster and you can't pitch it off Soldier or anything like that. Now, move on. Let me take you to strike 3. You're out of here. If you control no monsters, or your opponent controls a monster with 2,000 or more attack, 2 situational. This is almost like a level 8 version of Thrasher. That's just not necessary. You can special summon this card from your hand. And if you do, special summon 1 level 8 or dark dragon monster from your deck in defense position, except Schwarzschild Infinity Dragon, but its effects are negated. Okay. Alright. Hear me out. It's pretty cool in the formula level of generic to be able to summon a light or a dark. But the problem is, this card is not an inherent summon. That's why that's why it's not as it's not a Fenrir. And so with it not being an inherent summon, it's not a you can special summon 1 level 8 or light dragon. You have to. It's like mandatory. So it can be Ash Blossomed. So if you go, this card has to activate in hand. You go effect in hand to attempt to summon, and then summon from deck. It's all one effect. Then they can just chain Ash, and this card's just completely dead. Sorry, I coughed up my head, and I didn't want to cough on camera if I could prevent it. But this card can be ashed. And then after it gets ashed, it's dead, and then it's even more dead in hand. It's a brick because it's 8. It's a level 8. I mean, not a level 8, but it's a dark, sorry. It's a dark. And you just can't do nothing with it. Unless you're playing like the Horus version or something. You just free pitch off King's Arc or Entity. But no. Strike 3. It can be ashed. Locks you for the entire turn. And it's a dark. I don't think so. No. This card's poo-poo. Doo-doo butters. Moving on to the next card that we're going to be talking about is Tachyon Cloud Dragon. Now, this card has the effect that Galaxy Cloud Dragon wish it had or whatever. This card's actually really cute, and it's very solid. This little guy is a level 4 light monster. Sorry, I'm blind. 300 attack, 250 defense, which we don't really care about that. We just care about its utility. It's basically a Galaxy Eyes Poplar, Snake Eyes Poplar. If you add it, you can summon it. It says, Its effect is you can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name once per turn. So you can use all 3 effects in one turn. Busted. Love to see it. First effect. If this card is added to your hand except by drawing it, feels bad, you can special summon it. Still feels good though. Second effect. You can tribute this card for cost. Dodges Imperm Veiler. Special summon 1 Tachyon monster from your deck or graveyard. Thank you, Konami, for adding the graveyard effect on there. Or graveyard. Except Tachyon Cloud Dragon. So you can't special summon itself. But the ability to be able to summon something from the deck or graveyard is very, very nice. So, like, let's say if you're in a mid-late grind game and you're just turboing stuff through the deck and you run out of resources to the deck, the ability to be able to summon stuff from the graveyard too is very, very crucial. Now, its third effect, which is very, very cool, it says its third effect is if you special summon a Dragon XE monster, you can target one of them, attach this card to it as material from the graveyard if it was there when the monster was summoned. So this card, or hand, even if not. So moral of the story, if you don't know what that means, if this card is in the graveyard or hand, it has to witness the XE summon, whether it's from hand or graveyard. And when it does, this card can activate from hand or graveyard to be able to equip it to that Dragon XE monster as material. Very, very nice. Overall, very well-rounded card, in my personal opinion. Only thing I would say, just because I have to critique everything, you know me, I'm a perfectionist and I want everything to be really, really broken. I wish it wasn't just a Dragon XE monster. I wish it was just a Galaxy XE monster. But I see the level of generic that it gets with the Dragon, so potentially it could be better on down the road. Definitely with the next card that we're going to be talking about in this video, which is going to be the Dragluxion. It is a level 8 XE, rank 8 light XZ monster with the effect, with the attack stats of 2,500 attack and 3,000 defense. It's actually a really busted card. And its effect reads as follows. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. So you can use both in the same turn. First effect. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can add a Galaxy or Tachyon card from your deck to your hand. So it's an on-summon effect, which is really nice, so you don't have to detach for it. Its second effect is you can detach 2 materials from this card. Special summon 1 rank 8 Dragon XYZ monster with 3,000 attack from your extra deck. By using this card you control as material, then you can attach 1 Galaxy monster from your extra deck to it as an additional material. This card is treated as an XZ summon. Transfer this card's materials to that XZ monster. So in theory, if you summon this card and you have the Tachyon, little Tachyon dude, Tachyon Cloud Dragon in the graveyard, as soon as this card hits the field, let me make sure it's not a wind effect. Let me go back. No, you're good. Okay, so it wouldn't miss timing. You could go Dragluxion effect, and then you can, if they have no response, you can chain the Cloud Dragon to attach to this guy as material. But this card will search your Transmigration, which we finally have a way to search Transmigration. It's one of the 2 ways that we could search Transmigration now. But this guy's also really broken too, because this is the way that you just generically get a 2-for-1 basically. You can search anything with this basically, and then this card's basically made for you to put Tachyon's 107 on the board, but it can also summon anything. I wish it just said 3,000 or more attack, and I wish it was a quick effect, because the ability to potentially tag this out into a Neo's Galaxy Eyes will be hilarious. Because could you imagine being able to use this guy as a quick effect to tag him out for a big Neo's to imperm their entire board on their turn? Wouldn't be too broken, would it? But that's when I first read it, I was like, man, you can do that. But I just woke up when I read it and I was like, oh, you can't, because it's not 3,000 or more. And it's not a level 8, rank 8 rather too. So there's a lot of factors that play in. But that's what happens when you read cardboard when you just wake up. But this card nonetheless is still very good. It helps you bring out 107 or any other rank 8 3000 attack Dragon XC monster. Which I'm sure after a while, myself and a lot of you other people would be tinkering with it to see if there's any other broken ways of just breaking it. Now let's see here. What else? But yes, this is, as I was saying, I got sidetracked. But this is basically a search and wanting you to make the 107. So in theory, you can use this, search the trap card or the quick play effect, make 107, enter battle phase if you need to with 107 or continue with your plays. 107 effect, negate everything. And then trap card or quick play, shuffle the stuff back or destroy them all and then just kill them. Feels really good. But then moving on to the next card, which this art on the next card, guys, is absolutely gorgeous. If they don't make this a secret rare or a QCR, I'm going to cry. This card is absolutely gorgeous. And that is Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Primal. This card is insane. This card is beautiful. This card is just it's amazing. It's literally like, in theory, in the form of not OTK and just extension, it's like a better version of Afterglow, in my personal opinion. In some ways, obviously, Afterglow is better in a lot of different ways, but this card is very good. Its stats is a level 8 light dragon effect monster, 3000 attack, 2500 defense. Its effect reads as follows. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. Juicy, can use the entire effect in the same turn. First effect. If a Dragon XE monster is on the field, quick effect. Quick effects. Quick effect. You can special summon this card from your hand to either field, bro. Either field. Hold that thought. We'll be right back. Second effect. If this card is special summoned, its owner adds Tachyon Spell or Trap from their deck to their hand. Hold up, wait a minute, got to put some drip in it. Could you imagine playing a mirror match and you not know, and you summon this shit to your opponent's field and they're like, effect? That should be hilarious. Thanks, free real estate, bro. And then its third effect is... when a Dragon XE monster declares an attack, attach this card to it as material. Which, on the field to it as material, which I kind of don't like. But in theory, this card probably won't be on the field when a Dragon XE monster declares an attack, because it's probably going to be used for a rank 8 material or link material, link fodder or something like that. But still, it's mandatory, so you don't get a chance to do anything. It's just a win. It just happens. Now, rewind back to the quick effect. There was a lot of things that this card, that the quick effect summoned to either field can do. Summon it to your opponent's field, you can do several things. One, protect yourself from Imperm. Protect yourself against Kashchira players. Protect yourself against trash-ass Sky Striker players. And... what else is pretty nifty too, I don't know if we would ever run this card in the deck or if it would even it'll be an option whether we need it. Probably won't, because it's a dark and we just don't really typically go into darks. And we have enough extension to get to we want to in general. But in theory, we could summon this to our opponent's field, and if summon sorcerers came back to 1 or legal or whatever, which probably will happen after I make this video, because it got eroded, so I don't see why it wouldn't come back. Make summon sorceress. After we summon this to the extra monster zone, the monster zone underneath the extra monster zone to our opponent's side of the field, make summon sorceress, target it, summon another dragon from deck, so we could summon a like an Afterglow or something, and then just steal the primal back or whatever, or send it to the graveyard and then just kill them. That's pretty freaking cool. There's a bunch of different things I thought of when I read this card, being able to summon to your opponent's side of the field. Obviously, that will probably never really happen, but if we wanted it to protect ourselves, protect our like Galaxy Photon Dragon ranked forward from being impermed and put them on having Ash or Valor. Is very, very nice. Protecting ourselves against Striker for the Striker spells is really nice. Protecting ourselves against Cashier, forcing them to have Birth or whatever, or Theosis with the Rise Heart is very, very nice. There's a bunch of different nifty things. It's just, this is overall probably my favorite card out of the entire ones announced, because I love the artwork, I love the effect, and I love the ability to search our stuff, because it searches transmigration or whatever else too. So it's very, very nice in that regard. Overall, the best card in my personal opinion announced out of all of these. But that's basically it for all 6 cards. Granted, if you wanted me to cover the Galaxy Drake, even though it was it came out before this announcement did, I can. Galaxy Drake is very, very solid. I think Galaxy Drake is going to be a good 1 to 2 of, if that, because it ironically I predicted part of its effect. If you were part of the Discord fam, you know, because I mentioned it. I called the effect of being able to summon from graveyard. I called that. I just have a feeling the way that the entire deck's flowing, it's very graveyard centric now. But it having the ability to summon and manipulate levels, very, very nice. It's going to take a lot of the pressure off of your wizard or whatever. So wizard may or may not fall to 1 to 2 of, potentially, just depends. I gotta craft everything and just fill everything out and make my list from there. But Galaxy Drake is very, very solid. All the support is very, very nice, and but at the same time, we still lack a true starter outside of Wing. Wing is not like a true starter. It's the best starter we got, so it looks like a true starter compared to what we're used to playing with. But we are moving in a direction, at least for now, that we have more searchability for the cards that we want to be able to search. Not as much as we would like, but we compare it with all of our extenders, and we should be okay for the time being. But like I said before, any support is well grasped. We love it. We will take it. But other than that, guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you all think of all this new support. What all cards are you going to be tinkering with and stuff like that, and which card you're the most excited for, art-wise, effect-wise, and stuff like that. I love hearing from you guys and stuff down there below. But with all that being said, please hit the like button if you haven't already. Smash the subscribe bell notification so you never miss an upload. Check the description for all the ways to support your boy. And I love you all so much. It's your boy, Brandon, a.k.A. Drip, a.k.A. GG, Galaxy God. Sign out till next time. Peace. Good doing, my guys. Love you.